Today's video is about organizational ecology. To get things started, let's define it. So what is organizational ecology? It's a theory that gives importance to the structure and composition of the environment. Organizational ecologists believe that organizational change is shaped by the changes in the environment. So, for example, there are many organizations present in the modern world, and because of this, each organization experiences strong pressures. The orgs want to retain their form over time rather than engage in structural change. Not all organizations can cope with the environmental pressure, therefore they die out. The dying out of organizations results in the birth of new organizations. The death of an organization can serve as an indicator of its performance, and it is also a means by which environmental selection operates. This can be compared to Charles Darwin's theory of natural selection, or in this case, organizational selection. Only the strongest and structurally inert organizations will survive. This is the most likely with organizations engaged in competition for existence against others in their niche, or if they're in the same industry. Studies show that organizations founded at roughly the same time tend to be structurally similar to each other and dissimilar to those founded at other times. Social movement organizations depend primarily on the existence of human resources that can be mobilized for social action. Likelihood of organization failure is higher during its early years rather than later in its life cycle. This is because new organizations lack the external legitimacy of older organizations, as well as the stable relationships. This makes it more difficult to attract members and sources of power. Studies show that organizations with a high degree of support and legitimacy experience lower death rates. A niche width is defined by an organization's tolerance for changing levels of resources, ability to resist competitors, and responses to other factors that inhibit growth. An organization is said to have a broad niche if it is capable of reproducing in diverse circumstances. A greater population size increases a population's legitimacy and capacity for political and legal action. A larger population will experience increased competition for limited resources. Organizations that share a functional role within a community and are bounded within a common system are likely to have similar patterns of dependencies. Inertial pressures keep the org resistant to change. Example of internal inertial pressures are the capital invested in the organization, equipment, and people. These are things that are not easily transferable. History and politics are also examples of this. External pressures are legal and fiscal pressures, and not being able to acquire or transmit information needed from regulators, which could easily make the org not adaptive to change. Organizations can also be classified into two. These are the generalists, who focus on all kinds of customers, and the specialists, who focus on a specific group of customers. To get a deeper understanding of this, specialists bet all their chips in one place, while the generalists limit their bets. Organizational ecologists argue that failures are due to causes external to the organization, and business success or failure cannot be controlled by managerial initiative. So if the organization cannot fit into the environment it is in, it is bound to die out, no matter what strategy of the managers or bosses are.